Hello, everyone. I'm Jabbour. I am the founder and the creator of the Girlfriends Club and the host and creator of Girlfriend2Girlfriend. Welcome this evening. I'm so excited. Well, first of all, I always say that I'm so excited because every time I bring a new girlfriend on to meet all of you, I just get so pumped because it's such a great adventure, learning and sharing and just paying forward all this great information and all these introductions that have been made to me. So as you know, like the past couple of months, we've talked to a reader, a psychic medium, and I've gotten such an outpouring of interest and enthusiasm. So tonight I am introducing you to my girlfriend, Josephine Marshall, who is an astrologer. Now, if you're like me, do you even know what an astrologer is? Like, I kind of put everything like in one pot, right? A medium, a tarot card reader. What is all of this? What is all of this, Josephine?
What is going on, Allie?
Hey, girlfriend, we got this. So, like, you are going to peel back the onion for us, and you're going to explain to us what you do and why it's so important.
Yeah, and like we were just talking, there's a difference between, right, having a psychic reading.
We're going to do this right now. We're going to do the ABCs on this. Because
so really astrology, I'll just say up front. So I practice Western tropical astrology. It uses the 12 zodiac signs and 4 elements, right? Fire, water, air, earth. It's, some people say, well, what do you do? Well, I'll tell you what I do. I take a snapshot. It's a picture of the moment you were born. That's why I asked for your birth time in addition to your birthday. Mm-hmm. And it's a snapshot of exactly what the world looked like at that time, where the stars were, where the planets were. And it's stuck in time for you to follow you. And it's an universal energy that was gifted to you that follows you throughout your life. Understanding this is so important. I'm finding every single day because the world turns, right, every second of the day. So the stars move, the planets move. That's energy, right? We follow the moon. Like the moon could make you crazy sometimes. The moon really
100%, like last week, right? People were going crazy last week.
Yeah, and just intuitively, people understand that the moon affects them just as they affect the tides. So this energy that you were born with, it's a beautiful symphony of energy that's only yours, which doesn't move, but the world around us moves. So what I do is I love to have people look at their charts to really understand what they've been gifted in this life. And gifts are something that, right, when you unwrap them, then you find the good stuff in it. And it shows you parts of yourself that sometimes you always knew. There are things that maybe you've had, or done that you're like, oh, again, I'm doing this again. Why does this always happen to me again? And you understand patterns that you do often, that it's written in your chart for you to see that there's reasons why things happen to you in certain ways or with certain themes. And once you're aware of them, you could work with them. So what you're given isn't just set in stone. What's set in stone is the energy, but you could work with it once you become aware of it. And that's what I love.
And I think the awareness part. So we're going to talk about my chart. And,
yes,
the very first of all, you share with Josephine the day you're born, obviously your birth date, and if you can get your time. So I had that on my birth certificate, and she does do a snapshot of, what did it look like? And look at that. I mean, it's amazing.
Right. It looks like a dashboard of a car.
I know. I'm like, well, this is like, it's a new car symbol or something. And so, so intriguing. right? But when you talk about the world is moving around us, the logic, right? Like we're the same.
I like that you said logic because, like a lot of people say, well, prove that this works. I can't prove that it works. It's been just something that has been used for thousands and thousands of years. And I get a reading and see how it resonates with you. And then you can see if you believe in it or not.
And that's the thing. And if you're open to it, not everybody's open to this.
No,
No,
totally.
and that's okay. Like, I for years, I didn't understand, like, I'm reading, my horoscope in Newsday or, in Vogue. It's like, what does this mean? It was so broad. This is like, the very first line. So first of all, when you talk about the elements, let's dial it back, right?
Totally.
So water, air, fire, earth.
That's right. You got it.
And I represent, what was it? Air? No.
So Allie, you have
Right.
mostly
Like looking
earth
down.
and air, right? So
Right.
you have, so I study 10 planets when I look at your chart. There's 5 personal planets and 5 outer planets. Those are outer planets carry different energy and affect the sequence of events differently.
Right.
Personal planets are more short-term and embedded in your personality. Outer planets are for more like longer-term effects of the energy. So you have mostly air. You have a lot of personal planets in air, and you have a lot of personal planets in earth. And then you had 1 in fire and 1 in water. So your chart is made up of a lot of air and a lot of earth. What does that mean? So when I'm talking about the elements, when I talk about elements, it's about the quality of the energy. So air is, and it's kind of intuitive too. And air energy is about mental thinking and thoughts. So that's how that energy is expressed. Earth, as you can imagine, is about things that you can feel and touch, right? It's the tangible part of life. It's probably the most relatable element because you can feel and touch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the earth is an element where you act in a very structured, formatted, productive way. You can even like feel it, earth energy. So you're incredibly productive in the amount of energy that you have. You're built to follow through, you're built to do, and your air is the ability to communicate, and look what you do. It's very dynamic thinking, and if you have a lot of air, that doesn't mean that you're an airhead. But
are you sure?
But you know what? There's some truth to that, but not in the way that you think. There's a lot of energy and around thinking. So it makes you a very curious person. It makes a very inquisitive person, a person who really likes to relate to other people and communicate, air.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't mean because you have little of the other elements that, well, you're just not built that way. Understanding how the elements you work with, the 2 that you're given the most, and then how you would need to introduce the other 2 because of areas that you're lacking or areas that you want to enhance. And then you can learn the other 2 and what that means to you. So I think when we spoke, you really related to the amount of air that you had in your chart, right? Because you're a Gemini.
Yeah, I was
Geminis,
so surprised.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like the first line, for those that know me, it says excellent social and entertaining abilities. Hi, I love to throw a good party. But I mean, that's something about me. I think in 2nd grade, I was told that I was a chatter. Or my mom was told that I was a chatter. Like I was always being social and always trying to, make sure everybody was good. Everybody has a friend. And I feel like I'm that way now still, right? Girlfriends Club, paying it forward, one
It's
girlfriend at a time. Hi.
So Gemini, because Gemini is the most dynamic air sign of the zodiac. And not to say the other air signs aren't dynamic, but in their capacity to be able to absorb information, process it super quickly, and just have this ability, talk about multitasker. Oh my God, Geminis are like, they wrote the book. So that's what I mean by dynamic. So, and they're very multi-dimensional thinking. So, you know, you get Gemini on a subject that they love and they won't stop. But don't bore a Gemini, because Geminis really feed off of the need to explore deep in the things that they really love. So they have the sophistication, like, all right, let's describe Allie at a party. According, right? According to your sun sign. So your Gemini is your sun sign. So I'm describing just your general personality, how you act out in the world. Now, I'll add in 2 more to give us a little more dimension, because what we read in the horoscopes, that's your general sun sign. That's where your sun was at the time of your birth. So everybody really can identify with a sun sign personality, because that's who you're showing the world. It's kind of like, you know, the outfit that you have on, right? It's, you know, you see it. So, and let's put you at a party. We'll describe how a Gemini acts, and then your moon, which is in Aquarius, and that represents your emotional body, and then your rising, which is all about the soulful part of you, which is Scorpio.
Well, one disclaimer. Everyone needs to know that we have never, ever even met. We have never been to a party.
Once, right? I did your reading.
Right, we did that, but we've never been to a party. You've never seen me socially.
And that's really good setup. So I'm describing Allie, whom I met once before. Virtually reading her chart.
Right. There we go.
There you go. So Allie goes to a party and you are not going, you're excited, first of all. Geminis love to go to parties, but there are some, see, I'm reading it from knowing your chart and what you're connected to. Some Geminis would prefer not to have to go, but if it's something they love and they know it's going to excite them, but for you, you're into it no matter what. You're not going to sit on the sidelines. So you're going to you're the Gemini personality who comes in the room and you're like, look at all these people. I need to know who they are. I need to know their names, but I may not remember, but I will remember if it's somebody I want to talk to more.
Yeah. So funny.
I'm super interested in why they're here and what they're doing. So Gemini, it's not a social butterfly kind of energy. You are a sophisticated, you are really interested in chit-chatting, but you really understand I could meet some really fascinating people tonight, or people who I could connect with on a certain level. And the reason why I say that is because of your Scorpio rising. Scorpios love, they thrive on deep relationships of any kind. So if they're going to make any connections, it's going to be a soulful one. And your Scorpio in your rising, which represents your soul, combined with your Gemini, boy, I want to talk to you at a party. And I'm hoping I'm interesting enough so that you give me more time to talk to me.
It's just so interesting because, I really do, and people that know me, take the time to get to know people. I think everybody, has a voice, and, we all see, our facades, but I want to know what's behind there. And, it's very interesting to me. And girl, I love a good party.
Yeah, and your Gemini is in the 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio. So it's really your personality and your soul are beautifully entwined, and they're on the same page.
Thank
So
God
you're right.
something is on the same page.
Good, something you don't have to work through. It's
Oh
like
my
they
God.
are totally in sync, and look at what you do, Allie.
Yeah.
The Gemini in you wants to curiosity is the name of the game with Geminis. They're just curious about everyone and everything. Scorpio's willing to get to the bottom of it all. So it's such a beautiful match, like,
And it's
interviewing
interesting.
people for a living.
It's interesting because lately, especially with COVID, I've missed my people.
Oh,
It's really hard. And I know that like some of my girlfriends from the gym are probably watching and they know this, but like I get to the gym and I'm like, take off your mask. Do I know you? Like, can I just see who you are? Yeah, you just miss people. And I miss people so much. And I can't wait to get back, to be able to, be in a normal setting. And not that this hasn't worked and it hasn't sufficed. It's been a wonderful Band-Aid. But for somebody like me, the Gemini and Scorpio girl.
Completely. And I really feel that, because when I've talked to a lot of people, and then if their chart is, and yours definitely is, it's built like everyone's purpose in life is built in a very specific way.
Right.
And it's not just about career. It's really about fulfilling your heart's desire. And you can tell from a chart the direction of a person's life. And again, not just what they do in life, but what truly excites them and what truly will fulfill them. Your chart is all about deep connections and relationships.
Yeah.
And really authentic ones. And when I see that, and then knowing what we've had to endure during COVID, I empathize with that so much.
So hard, and as you know, I'm in the communications industry. So my job and my personality, are well matched,
Yes.
because I walk the walk and I talk the talk,
Yes, you do.
all day long. I think, one of the other things was the, what was it? That I'm very adaptable.
Yes.
And,
that's the sign. So each sign is attributed a mode, right? It's like the gear of a car. The Gemini sign is what they call mutable. And that mutable energy of the sign gives it the flexibility to be able to like take in a lot of points of view, be able to be very receptive to others. And also they can, change with the change.
Right.
That's mutable. So it's not a what they call a fixed energy, and it's not a cardinal energy where you're constantly just starting stuff. So the Gemini, the mutability of the Gemini really helps you to, even in like, I give the example of the cocktail party, because not a lot of people can have that kind of like savvy to be able to, chit chat or move from one conversation to another. There is an art form to that, and Geminis have it in spades. So that's
I call that exploring a room. Some people say they want to network. I want to explore.
Yeah. And yeah,
it's a different approach, although a part of the exploration is of course networking. You just said the word flexibility, and that was my word for 2020. That, I just became, extremely flexible. And I think, when I read adaptability, those work hand in hand, right? Because last year we had to pivot. We were taking risks. We had no idea what the heck they were, but we were risk takers.
Oh my gosh.
That's also something about me, is that I am a risk taker, and I always have been, throw the challenge. And I think it's just incredible. When I moved down to one thing that's a real personality trait of mine is that I can be extreme, very black or white, and I work on gray. I do. Like I really try to do that.
And that's the beauty about finding out about some of the energy in your chart, right? Understanding where that comes from. And then not saying, oh, you're stuck with that, but learning how to work with it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay. Like you can work with that, and it is okay to be gray. And guess what? Sometimes we do change our minds.
Absolutely.
We're just, we're human beings. And, and that's really an education. Just, thinking about that, right? And understanding. First of all, I think you're brilliant. I think the way that you describe your gift and what you do is amazing. You communicate, talk about a communicator. I'm going to do your chart next
Thanks.
time.
Okay, so I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something about my chart. I have 0 air, Allie. I have 0 air in my chart. So
really? I got it all.
Let me tell you, and this is the big reason why I feel a calling to do this with people, because when I have found my voice, but
right.
It was true. When I was younger, I sang a lot. I loved to sing. I was in chorus. I don't know if you call me a shy kid or whatever, but I always found it hard to find my words, like literally find my words. When I sang, the words came and I felt like, so I've had to learn how to connect emotions and put them into words. And when I started looking at my chart to see what I was gifted in this world, I had challenges in that department. And once I really understood, and then I'd like to say find compassion, because you know how you like think about parts of yourself and you're like, oh, I wish I wasn't like that. I don't do that anymore. I find compassion. I'm like, no, this is who I am. This is what I've been given, and I'm going to love it. And then I'm going to work with it. Just like a kid, right? You have to work with, love your child, no matter, and you're going to work with them to raise them into, so
it's so true. It is so true. But like you said, so when you and I met, and we did this, and the incredible thing is that right before you meet, you send your life
10-page dossier.
It's like, oh my, and I'm looking at this going, oh my gosh. And, and I'm looking through, I'm reading it, and, I didn't even know how to accept all of this, because it was a lot. It was a lot until it was explained. And then the story unfolded, and it was so obvious that this is me. Like, it wasn't anyone else. Never a loss for words. Always have something to say. Hi, everyone's laughing. That I have a way with words, which I think is like, like, I never really thought that about myself, but that is such a nice attribute. Like being able to, say the right thing, and also being able to listen.
Which you're really, really good at, Allie. And knowing that, because you have Leo on your midheaven, which is at the top of your chart, and that really indicates not just your career in life, but your public persona. And when it's in Leo, you're going to shine, baby, and you're not going to apologize for it. So that is when I see stuff like that, I definitely love showing people that. Most times they know it, but if they don't, it's like, here,
right,
you're Leo midheaven, you're gonna shine. You're going to not like you're gonna have to be the leader, but no, you're going to command a presence, and people are going to want to talk to you.
That's a lot. Oh my gosh. So I have to tell you that when I was going to college, I wanted to be a nurse.
Really?
That just doesn't, that's not here anywhere.
Your North Node in Cancer kind of like shows that. That's another, that we can spend like, how many episodes could we do on this?
But that could be nurturing though, right? That could be a nurturing piece.
Yes.
So that's like being a mother and a really good friend and, partner. But that's, I thought about that today. I was like, wow, I wanted to be a nurse, and like, there ain't no nurse that's chatting with everybody. I would be in trouble all the time. get your work done. So it's, yeah,
But it makes a lot of sense though. It really, because with your chart, like I said, you don't have, you have one planet in a water placement. We don't take into consideration certain placements like North Node, Midheaven, Ascendant. Those are constellations that don't have a planet. So, but it doesn't mean it's just as significant. It's just not part of the elemental energy that I'm reading. But when I see a North Node, which kind of like, for lack of a better word, it's like shortcut to enlightenment. So when I see that in a, right, it's like, something that, I read in addition to your reading, all of it in hand, right? It's like a matrix of like this energy. And in there, your North Node's in Cancer. Cancer is the most nurturing, feeling, caring sign of the zodiac. So in this life, and it's North Node is all about karma too. It's like where you're destined to go in this life. And it's all, when I say that it's, your chart is all about deep, caring relationships, I always figured in that North Node in Cancer as part of the equation. So it totally makes sense that you would have wanted to be a nurse.
Wow. See, and I didn't see that at all in here, but I want to say that, before we go, which has gone too fast, and yes, you are coming back, is that I want to tell everyone how to find you, number one. Number two, you said you wanted to offer a discount.
Absolutely. Anybody who's on here tonight, hearing me blab, and if you'd like a reading, just say you saw me on the Girlfriends Club, and I offer a 10% reading discount.
And how do you want everyone to communicate with you?
And they can contact me through joemarsastrology.com, or I'm on Instagram, joemars111. Or Facebook.
Do you take, and also you get the you get the messages on Instagram. Yes. So if somebody starts to follow you, because you put up amazing things, like Thank I really, I love that, and I'm just, wow, you really, you're great. I love you. Thank you so much for sharing your gift with me and with everyone. And, you're a treasure, and you're so pleasant and relatable and kind, and wow, this is just a love fest.
We didn't even get to your birth. We didn't get to your birthday. Your birthday's like next week, and there's so much going on.
I know, we got to talk.
I'll tell you.
I know. I got to plan a party. But I thank you. Thank you so much. And we'll have you back soon. And there's just way too much more to talk about. So everyone, connect with this chick. I mean, this was girlfriending. This really was serious.
Well, we just needed the wine, Allie.
I know, but it's Tuesday. We got to regroup. We can't start this early in the week. Anyway, thank you. Love you.
Thank you very much.
See you next week.